One of my favourite twig stoves is this cheap Chinese wood gas stove, which I use as part of my camping cook kit. I'll just grab some wood, then we'll look at how I use this stove and the mod that turned it from junk to good. Anything you find that's up in the trees, really nice and dry, or vertical standing and chop it up, it's got to be dry. This stove just doesn't work if it's not dry. I paid around £16 for this, so a fairly low risk investment, but spent quite a while learning to use it effectively. I'm never going to carry perfectly dry fuel or wood pellets into the wood with me, so I've learnt over time that lighting from the top that everyone says you just have to do doesn't work for me. It takes ages to get going, while bottom lit dries the wood faster, makes it easier to keep a flame going and avoids that smoke bomb phase. It makes it almost smoke free through all stages. Though I am using it more like a rocket stove, it still has a wood gas phase which you can extend by adding small lumps of wood regularly. If once you finish cooking you want some bigger flames, or you just want a lot of coals and you've got plenty of time to wait, then another way that you can lay this fire is Swedish fire torch. So you get it going and then stack some taller ones in there, and that will give you a massive amount of coals when that burns down. You're blocking the air holes up, but it doesn't matter because you're using the air at the bottom to come up and up through the Swedish fire torch, so you're going to end up with flames right up. So yeah, we'll give this a little while and this will go like Billy-O. For such a small, cheap and lightweight stove, it really does pack a punch when you need it to. If you're struggling, you've either used damp wood and it's absorbing all the heat, or you just haven't got enough airflow. You've either got it clogged or blocked at the bottom somehow, or you may need to do like I've done and drill some extra holes out, but I'll show you that when I light it next. Yeah, so mods, I've drilled an extra 10 holes in the bottom of this grate. There was already 5 by 3, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There was already 21 holes in the bottom, and I've added an extra 10 to try and get a bit more airflow, because this sits on this ring. So the air comes in through these holes and then goes up through the grate holes, and also goes up through this second skin, with the double skin, and comes out inside through these holes, which gives you the gasification effect. It's the oxygen coming out of these holes. But my theory is that when you've got a fire in here, there's resistance for the air to come through, so it's going to be more inclined to go up through the double lined wall and out through the holes, because it's got an easier airflow. So usually when your stove starts smoking or it goes wrong, it's because you haven't got enough air coming up through the grate, and it's either clogged with ash or just needs a shake or a prod on the top to get some air coming through it again. But I've found that drilling some extra holes in there has definitely helped as well. It's a little bit of assistance to keep it burning and keep a flame going, because you've got to have a flame there to ignite the wood gas. As soon as you go to glowing embers, you start putting some wood on again, some more fuel, and it just smokes until it gets going. So to avoid that smokiness, you've got to keep a flame going all the time, and I think that having these extra holes really helps with that. As you can see, with a little Meths burner, also doubles up as a stand, just the top of it, so you can cook on it, you can fry on it. It's a bit dirty at the moment, needs a clean up, I would demonstrate, but I've got nothing to fry at the moment. The other thing you can do is take your bottom ring, turn it upside down, just prop it up on a little stick or something so as you get some air going in underneath. Put 3 little tea light candles down in there. Light them and put your frying pan over the top, and you've got yourself a little tent heater. And it works like those flower pots that heats up the top of the tin and then it warms up the air around the tent rather than the heat going straight up to the top of your tent. So it dissipates slower and keeps your tent warmer. So that's pretty neat. That goes inside there. Lighter goes there. Now the lighter and the little Meths burner don't come with this. This is what I've added. So you just get this little net bag with the stainless steel components in it. But this fits inside a 14cm zebra saucepan. So there's your basic cook kit. Then I've got a piece of thick aluminium, which I sometimes put on the ground to put my stove on to stop the embers burning the ground if I'm near a pine tree, because the roots are a bit liable to catch fire. And I've also got a grate so I can do some barbecuing, and my frying pan and an ollie clamp. So that goes in there, that goes in there. So it fits in a little dry bag, just to stop everything else getting dirty really. And that is my complete cook kit. Weighs about £3, and I can do pretty much anything with that apart from baking. It's not really very good for baking, and it's hard to keep the temperature about the same. You need a bigger firebox for that really. Yeah, so I'm well pleased with it. So that's my go-to cooking kit.